we're going to have you consider how to solve polynomial equations, and the first option that we'll go over is factoring polynomials. There aren't as many options for factoring as there are with quadratics. Most of the time you'll need a different option. It'll work a lot better, but when you can factor, it's a good option. The first thing to always check first is for the GCF. And typically this is really the only thing that you'll be able to do when you can factor, although there are some cases when you can do some other things. So for example, let's look at x cubed plus 2x squared minus 15x. Well, I can see that all three of these terms have an x, so I can factor that out, and I'll have left x squared plus 2x minus 15. This quadratic can factor a little bit further. You could use tic-tac-toe. I can see this is going to factor into x plus 5 times x minus 3. So I factored out the GCF first and then was able to work with the quadratic. A second example might be 2y to the 5th minus 18 cubed. 18y cubed. And I can see in this example that both of these have a GCF of 2y cubed. And when I factor that out, I'm left with y squared minus 9. Y squared minus 9 is an example of difference of squares, so this will go a little further into y plus 3 times y minus 3. The third example of factoring using the GCF first would be 4z to the 4th minus 16z cubed plus 16z squared. If I take out a GCF of 4z squared, I'm left with z squared minus 4z plus 4. And this quadratic will also factor. Again, you could use tic-tac-toe to do it. I see that this will be z minus 2 times z minus 2. Now notice that if you're going to use factoring and taking the GCF out, ideally you'll have a quadratic left that you can then do something more with. So that would be factoring by taking out the GCF.